Labubus are everything wrong with society, bro. Bro, I've been hearing a lot about Labubus, but let's, you know what I'm saying?
Whenever it feels like we are making progress towards a society that refuses to fall victim to mindless consumption, or we are having honest conversations about how young people can't afford houses or have families, something like Labubu comes around and destroys all faith in humanity. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a collection: music, trading cards, comic books, coins, seashells, whatever brings you joy, especially if you are a child. But something about Labubu feels off. It feels less like a genuine collection and more of a hollow trophy that people convince themselves they need because someone with millions of followers attached it to their purse. It's the illusion of status packaged into an evil-looking...
Hey, watch that young nigga, man. Hey, look how he looking. He look too creepy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Watch him.
That proves how easily we're manipulated by major corporations. But the crazy part is, this is not the first time something like this has happened, and we're not even embarrassed to admit that we...
Of course this ain't, bro. You know how many items celebrity has attached themselves to, and people just run to go get it? I mean, this even with food, like when certain celebrities do food collabs, you know, something like that, people running to get it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is just kind of part of society, but it do get to a point. Like, some people just be overly glazing, and it be like, all right, bro, like, you literally only want this just because your favorite celebrity had it. You feel me?
Falling for it. And as if the amount of money that people are spending on these things isn't shocking enough, there is real crime and violence breaking out because of these dolls. Wow. And once you see just how far people are willing to go for Labubu, you'll understand why this isn't just a dumb toy, it's a symptom of something much worse. Before Labubus became the world's latest big-time collectible, they were just silly sketches made by Kasing Lung. The Hong Kong-born artist spent a lot of his childhood in the Netherlands, becoming infatuated with Nordic fairy tales, especially the elves that were separated as beings of the dark and of the light. In 2015, Lung decided to make his drawings into a short story for children that he called the Monsters Trilogy, telling a simple story about how a child meets a playful tribe of fictional female elves called the Labubu. That's why I wanted to create something that I've always known existed in my heart, he said in an interview. It's so amazing that so many people love it. Shortly after, he released a handful of toys as an artistic trial run, and his fans absolutely loved it. Many people are surprised to find out that the Labubu characters are supposed to be kind-hearted creatures that are eager to help, only for everything to erupt into chaos following their various funny antics. According to Lung, there are over 100 different characters, each with different backstories and relationships, picking on or bullying each other in innocent ways.
That nigga already done made $1 billion off this, dog. That's crazy. He came up with a simple sketch and now is running the world. That's crazy, bro.
即係咧，Labubu 其實有好多咁，有百幾隻嘅又係。其實因為我希望有一個角色。
But not everyone interprets Labubu seeming kind-hearted or acting like friendly bullies. For a lot of people, the teeth and sinister smiles really freak them out. I personally find them creepy and have no desire to have any of them for myself, family, or in my home. I don't understand why everyone else thinks it's cute when it's obviously creepy. However, Labubu did create a cult following, which caught the attention of a Beijing-based company called PopMart, a company known for blind box packaging. PopMart and Labubu developed a licensing deal in 2019, and it changed the company forever. Shortly after their partnership was established, 55,000 boxes of the Labubu miniseries were sold out in 9 seconds on PopMart's online.
9 seconds? Bro. Bro.
And that was over 6 years ago. So the hype surrounding these toys is not new, it's just new to America. And while the company does have some offerings where you can actually choose which one you're going to purchase, it primarily sells blind box figurines now, making up more than 70% of their business. Blind boxes have been around for over 40 years in East Asia. It's just that recently they've become America's largest obsession when it comes to collectible toys. The concept is incredibly simple for businesses to get the consumer excited. On the external packaging, the customer can see a few different Labubus they might get. Maybe you will get the pink one. Maybe you will get the green one. It even tells you the odds of getting them, 1 in 6. But the key is putting the secret one there. It is grayed out, so it is a total mystery. The secret one has a 1 in 72 chance of being in your purchase. And this could be one of the main reasons that is causing younger generations to collect more than they ever have before. In a survey conducted on 21st century collecting around the world, we've discovered that the average young adult spends almost $2,000 a year on collectibles, and that more and more adults who aren't collectors are now considering joining in on these trends, as 90% of collectors have reported that they
that's how I used to be back in the day though, like when people used to post like unboxing videos of different collector series or whatever. Like back then, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be into that, you know what I'm saying? I used to want to buy, but I couldn't afford them, so I couldn't get them. But you know what I'm saying, I used to watch hella YouTube tutorials on it, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know, experience it through the TV screen, you feel me, of unboxing certain collector series or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But this is crazy.
In activities revolving around these collections. People have unpacking events, forums where they share their collections, and sometimes base their entire personality around something like Labubu because it's a way to connect with the outside world. Pop Mart even opened their first theme park called Popland, where people can come and celebrate their obsession with these blind box products together. One of the descriptions for the park reads, "There are a few spots to play in the same way as a typical theme park, including an adventure playground filled with climbing walls, nets, mazes, and trampolines. Guests can also feel what it's really like to live in the universe through the augmented reality immersions. And naturally, there are also plenty of places to stop to snap photos and videos for social media, which helped make the Labubus the stars they are today." When trying to get to the bottom of what they call the economics of Labubu, the Wall Street Journal teamed up with psychologist David Bosch to describe the impact blind boxes and Labubu have on consumers. To them, a lot of this has to do with the labels showing a secret prize and the human compulsion to complete a set.
One of the things that the brand can do to keep engagement, to encourage consumers to get a little more excitement out of it, is to label the box.
That specific range also creates a set.
It's well-known, well-supported phenomenon that most people, under certain conditions, have a very strong tendency to want to complete a set.
The concept of the blind box has become so popular that thousands of YouTubers have used it as a perceptually fun way to entertain themselves and fans at the same time. A good example would be how Rhett and Link looked for extremely rare toys in a segment of their show, Good Mythical Morning.
Hold on. That was not it. This one's special.
Hold on. I got the 1 in 100.
You got the Robbie. You got the Robbie.
I ain't gonna lie, I know that'd be the best feeling ever though, when you get the rarest one. You know what I'm saying? That really keep the people coming back for sure, because people be wanting to complete the full set of things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially spending all that money, you definitely want to get the full set.
I can't believe. And Robbie came with a drum. What in the world? This is the most fun I've had in years.
You can see that these blind box collectibles have an interesting impact on people. Even if they don't know what the toys are, why they're interesting, special, or even if they don't like the way that they look, once people realize they are rare, they start to attach value that isn't actually there. Pop Mart and Labubu's business model mostly relies on this. Nothing creates hype more than the illusion of scarcity, the old classic, low supply, high demand. However, what really started this Labubu craze was another classic modern day marketing effort, paying a celebrity to endorse the product. Because just a few months ago, one of the world's most famous K-pop stars, simply known as Lisa, sent the world into a frenzy after she confessed her love for Labubu. Lisa is a Thai singer, rapper, dancer, and actress who became the most followed K-pop idol on Instagram, but she's been seriously climbing the industry ladder since 2016 after joining the girl group Blackpink. By now, K-pop isn't just a genre, it's a full-blown global movement. Streaming has skyrocketed, with Spotify reporting a staggering 362% increase in K-pop streams worldwide over the past 5 years.
Listen to K-pop? I ain't never get into K-pop, you know what I'm saying? I might have to check it out, might have to do a little reaction to a K-pop song, but what artists would y'all suggest me do? Because I ain't really too tapped in with K-pop artists like that, you know what I'm saying?
The top 100 K-pop artists globally amassed a jaw-dropping 90 billion on-demand streams with a 42% growth year over year. They've also developed some of the most die-hard cult-like fans on the internet. Fans will create entire Twitter accounts dedicated to a single idol, posting hundreds of updates a day like unpaid.
That's the only band I'm really familiar with. It's probably others that I can't think of right now, but I know BTS is real big in the K-pop world.
Publicists. They'll organize mass streaming parties where thousands of people loop the same song 24/7 just to inflate the chart numbers. Some even spend hours translating interviews, subtitling videos, and archiving every second of a singer's life. To outsiders, it looks obsessive. It looks like the musician is at the center of a fan's entire identity, and sometimes they will attack anyone who criticizes them. But to the fans, it's just loyalty to their favorite star. And Lisa is arguably the most famous of them all. Lisa's been in ads for PlayStation 5, Louis Vuitton, partnered with Bose, and has been a global ambassador for Celine and MAC Cosmetics. So whenever she was asked to share her secret obsession with Vanity Fair's YouTube channel, anything she chose to promote was going to turn into pure gold. And in November of 2024, her obsession of choice was Pop Mart collectibles.
Hi, this is Lisa, and this is my secret obsession. Whoa, this is Pop Mart. It's a blind box, so you don't know what's inside. Can I open it? Oh my, how do you get this?
Bro, this is all it took, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody want a Labubu, everybody want a collectible, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Really rare and hard to find. Every collection, they have like the rare one. It's really hard to get. We call them secret. So I always wish that I got secret.
One by one, Lisa unwrapped her blind boxes, getting more and more excited with every new figurine. But what got everyone's attention were the large Labubu she held in each arm. She described the impact Pop Mart had on her friend and how she couldn't stop herself from buying to unlock new characters.
We call her Labubu. Okay?
Really?
This is so heavy. One has a tail, one doesn't. So this, Simomo, and this is Labubu. Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't see the hype, bro. I don't see the hype at all. I don't get the point of it. Like, I mean, I get it, it's a collectible. It's not that much thrill that come with it, but it's like, I don't see why I got all these people in the...
Got into Pop Mart like early this year, and I learned about this from one of my close friend in Thailand. And when I went to Thailand, she was like, "Oh, let's go to Pop Mart," and I was like, "What is Pop Mart?" Like, what? And she's like, "Oh, it's like, it's to sell toys and stuff, like we should go and check." And then I went with them, and I was like, to be honest, I was not into it at all. I was like, no, I'm not gonna spend my money on this. And then they came out, and they were like, oh my god, like the one that I want, like it's sold out, it's so hard to get. And I was like, is that hard to get? And then they, showed me a bunch of stuff, and as soon as I got them, I go crazy. It's like I spent all of my money.
What's really sad is that people couldn't tell that this entire video is just one large paid advertisement, but it worked. After the seal of approval from Lisa, Pop Mart's share price has grown by almost 600% in just 1 year. Somehow, this creepy-looking figurine with confusing appeal has managed to enter the hearts and minds of some of the richest celebrities all around the world. Korean artist V was seen walking around with Labubu in Seoul. Rapper Central C and Dua Lipa have been seen with theirs attached to bags. Kim Kardashian posted an entire collection of them on Instagram, and Madonna received a Labubu birthday cake that is quite frankly...
cake is OD. That's overly glazing. You know what I'm saying? But like, bro, these definitely paid ads for sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? They paying a lot of these people to walk around. But some people probably just like, how they look or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They might just be into collectibles. But for Showski, this is definitely paid promotion. No cap.
one of the most terrifying looking things on the planet. And if celebrities aren't the ones purchasing Labubus for themselves, they're receiving them as gifts from friends or family members. Like how football legend David Beckham posted an image of an apparently rare find that he received from his daughter. These celebrity advertisements have been one of the key driving forces for Labubu's current obsession. And I feel like we must address the elephant in the room about how this thing looks incredibly evil. The sharp teeth, the unsettling grin, the slightly furrowing eyebrows. You can't help but notice this toy has a slightly demonic feel. No wonder why these Hollywood elites love this toy. It represents them perfectly. Celebrities have always mastered the art of appearing glamorous enough to worship, but approachable enough to trust. They present themselves as icons of beauty and innocence, while behind the scenes they're laughing, squeezing every last dollar from the people who idolize them. Labubu is just the perfect prop for that illusion. A sinister little mascot hiding in plain sight, smiling as it drains your bank account. Across all different social media platforms, everyone and their mother has an unboxing video for Pop Mart's new favorite product, picking them up from one of the company's 500
all fell for the trap. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wish I would waste my money on a freaking Labubu.
stores or 2,000 plus vending machines around the world, eager to record themselves unboxing one for the first or 300th time.
Right. Here we go. Y'all ready for this? No. It's him! He's gorgeous! Oh my god! Can you believe?
The doll seemingly is no longer about whether you actually like the thing, it's about proving you belong to the exclusive club of people who have one. The doll itself is meaningless, but the association is priceless. People have convinced themselves that having one signals wealth and exclusivity, even if all they did was pay retail price for a hunk of vinyl.
I am the owner of the famous 24 karat gold Labubu.
And of course, now many buyers are trying to justify their purchase by saying it'll be worth more someday. But if history has taught us anything, it's that collectibles rarely pay off like people think they will. If you look back at your childhood, odds are you collected a little something. Maybe you did it because you loved it, or maybe you did it because everyone else was doing it. But ultimately, it didn't matter because it was just part of growing up. For me, it was Pokemon cards, WWE wrestlers, and Hot Wheels.
WWE wrestlers? Oh my gosh, bro. WWE wrestlers? Y'all ain't really experienced that WWE phase for real, bro. I was a WWE aholic, bro. That's all I watched on TV, bro. WWE, dog. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had subtle collectibles at certain points. It was mainly toys, like, you know, WWE wrestlers. Probably other toys, Legos here and there. You know what I'm saying? We all had that phase, but we was young, so it meant so much to us. But like once you get older, you start looking at shit different. You feel me?
It could have been lunchboxes, Barbies, Beyblades, rocks, or literally anything else. But now, collectors have become sellers. Collections are no longer to express their admiration for a passion or interest, but to auction them off for hundreds, thousands, or maybe even millions of dollars. They see collections as an investment, a way to get rich quickly. In fact, 40% of so-called collectors have openly expressed how they intend to sell their collections as they increase in value. And of course, there are tons of collections out there that have increased in value over time, but Labubus are pretty new, and they're starting to seem like more of a flash-in-the-pan trend that is reminiscent of Beanie Babies. In the late 1990s, Beanie Babies weren't just plush toys, they were marketed as miniature fortunes in the making. Thai Inc.'s strategy of artificially restricting supply by limiting retail orders and frequently retiring certain models created a frenzy where $5 stuffed animals were believed to become the next gold rush. At the peak of the mania, Beanie Babies accounted for roughly 10% of eBay's sales. We even saw full-grown adults separating Beanie Babies during a divorce. But all those people who hoarded these...
I remember them things, bro. I think my grandma had one of them at her house or something like that. Like, I remember seeing them often, you feel me? I didn't know there was a thing though, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Their toys were disappointed to find out that they weren't worth anything. It doesn't matter that sellers listed them for thousands of dollars online.
Damn.
Even still to this day, you can find listings for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but things are only worth what someone is actually willing to pay. And the harsh reality was that nobody was buying. Not even the most reckless spenders could be convinced that these toys were rare or valuable. So people ended up selling their Beanie Baby collections for dollars, sometimes even cents at garage sales, which drove the value down even further. What was once perceived as a life-changing investment turned out to be nothing more than overpriced clutter. This is almost the fabric of American culture at this point. You'll see shows like Antiques Roadshow, Pawn Stars, or American Pickers, where people drag out dusty items from their attic and pray they've been sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. The fantasy is irresistible. The idea that some random object you already own could secretly be worth thousands. It's the modern-day lottery ticket, except instead of scratching numbers, you're banking on nostalgia and rarity. But the uncomfortable truth is that most collectibles never hit the jackpot. For every person who sells a first edition comic for 6 figures, there are millions more who are left with boxes of junk that they swore would pay off one day. Even though we're still at the peak of the craze, occasionally you might see videos online where a collector recognizes that they might be spending a little too much money on Labubus, but then you'll find investment gurus in denial justifying the purchases in the comments. They're actually worth more than $120, so you got lucky. The scary part is, because of the Labubu popularity, we're no longer just talking about overpriced toys, we're talking about an obsession that's bleeding into real life in some very dark ways. Like how parents will give their own children a choice between hundreds of dollars or a Labubu blind box, only for the kid who receives the money to almost break down in tears, even though they end up buying a giant Labubu with the money they were given. Now, to give the kids the benefit of the doubt, they're kids.
Yeah, they kids. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't even criticize them. They kids. They don't know what's really going on for real. But it's like, bro, that is crazy, bro. The power of these things, dog.
The value of money. Of course, they want a toy. However, there is no excuse for the full-grown men who will buy up as many Labubu products as they can in order to resell them to children and other collectors for a much higher rate. And they have the audacity to claim that they're just passionate collectors.
We get a lot of slack on Instagram, but because of how much stock we have, oh, you took all our stock, we're collected and we want the box and you're triple the price and this and that. But unfortunately, people don't understand how a business model works, you know?
No. People perfectly understand how the business model works. You try and squat on as much inventory as possible so there's scarcity, and then people have FOMO, so they want to make sure they get it, so they'll pay the extra markup that you just drive the price of the roof.
Like, bro, what? Like, bro, people are hilarious, bro. But the crazy part is he gonna run across a lot of people with no brain who willing to just spend their hard-earned money on this bullshit, dog. Like, this is so funny, bro. People really buy into anything, bro. You know what I'm saying?
2 weeks ago, bought Labubus for the kids. Someone stole her Labubu from her bag.
You're kidding.
Yes, at school.
Tough.
And then I speak to my daughter.
Labubu robbery.
My daughter's got 7
capital punishment
She's
required.
got every generation.
We're stealing our kids.
Bro, it's not normal. Not normal. So yeah, I told her take all the Labubus.
Unfortunately, it is very normal now. It's super normal now.
When grown adults are exploiting children for profit, it's only a matter of time before the obsession spills into outright theft and violence. In Southern California, a small group of teenagers were suspected of breaking into a warehouse and stealing some inventory. When the Chino SoCal police received a warrant to raid the house the supposed thieves were staying at, they weren't looking for electronics or jewelry. They were searching for about 14 boxes of Labubu collectibles.
Imagine robbing a store for some Labubus, gang. Y'all that hard up to resell. Y'all gonna rob the place? So y'all about to go sit in jail for over some goddamn dolls. People don't live in real life at all, gang. That go to show you how hard up people be for $1. Niggas will do anything, bro.
The alleged thieves were intending on reselling on the black market. According to the report, the cops recovered $30,000 worth of the furry figurines, which usually retail for about $30 each. In the same story, the LA Times noted that the prices for Labubu due to scarcity are reaching all-time highs. The figurines are usually sold at Pop Mart stores and create a fervor whenever new ones are released. A child-sized Labubu sold at auction for $150,000 according to media reports, and limited edition monsters can retail for $150. But the criminality doesn't stop at theft. There's now a growing scheme where people will make...
Dude, this nigga got a Gucci fit on, dog. They putting Gucci fits on him and everything, dog. This can't be real life, bro. Y'all niggas are bots, like real life NPCs, gang.
Labubu, now named Lafufus, that is becoming such a large problem that people are making instructional videos to help customers inspect Labubus like diamonds at a jewelry store to avoid being scammed.
Every Labubu should have exactly 9 teeth. No more, no less. Like this one, you can count. It has 10 teeth. Here are a few other ways
bro, every time America touch something, everything just go downhill, bro. It just be funny, bro. The U.S. is a hilarious place, gang. I ain't gonna lie, dog. These motherfuckers got fake Labubus, bro. Y'all serious, gang? Y'all that hard up, bro?
Tell. If you look at the original Labubu's complexion, she has kind of a peachy pink tone to her skin, whereas if you look at the Lafufu, this one in particular has a paler complexion.
Pop Mart told us you can also identify a Labubu by their high-quality finishes, such as the stitching and the paint job.
One obvious way you can tell a Lafufu from a Labubu is the spelling on the tags. Labubu will say Pop Mart on the tag, whereas this specific Lafufu says poor mapped. I do like it when they're very obvious.
Whether Pop Mart will admit it or not, they're definitely enjoying all forms of press, even if it's bad. All publicity is good publicity in the world of politics and sales, because at the end of the day, we only have ourselves to blame. Tim Dillon hilariously summarized the depressing reality of the Labubu obsession in America.
The Labubu is the perfect symbol of the economy that we've created and the cultural value system that we have. It is a Chinese fentanyl-stuffed voodoo doll that is being exported to America. Little things like the Labubu become an important status symbol for people who have given up on owning a home, having a family, having a job, or a meaningful life. The adults, their eyes get big. You've got one of them. I want one of them. What? A family? No, that demon doll, that troll, that critter.
1 minute, we're having honest conversations about how young people can't start a family, buy a 2-bedroom house, or even spend time with those that we care about. And in the next, we have hundreds of thousands of people going into debt to buy a trinket because their favorite celebrity said it was cool. But as I stare more at these evil-looking little things, I can't help but recognize that it's the perfect reflection of a system that thrives on manipulation, that manufactures scarcity, that entices children and adults to pour money into something that has absolutely no value. The doll looks demonic because in a way, it's a symbol of how dark consumer culture has become. And the scariest part isn't the doll itself, it's what it says about us. That our society has to be this desperate, this easily hypnotized for
That's crazy, bro. Y'all motherfuckers
so empty to become such a massive success.
Y'all really do anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Pour y'all money into anything, like just a bunch of crab in the buckets. You know what I'm saying? Just following after the next person, like, bro, y'all gotta start having a mind of y'all own, bro. For real, gang.